Welcome to the Ideological Brain, why facts don't change minds and what actually does. In the information age, why are we becoming more polarized? When reliable evidence contradicts a worldview, the brain can perceive it as a physical threat. This triggers the backfire effect, rejecting the facts and hardening the original position. We process reality through schemas, or mental blueprints. The flexible mind uses accommodation to update its blueprint to fit reality. The rigid mind experiences assimilation failure, rejecting new information that doesn't fit its existing blueprint. Two mechanisms are at work: confirmation bias and the backfire effect. Confirmation bias seeks comfort by reinforcing existing beliefs. The backfire effect repels threat, triggering a fight-or-flight response when ideological challenges occur. Extremism is not just sociological, it is neurological. Research shows that dogmatism and extremism are rooted in how an individual's brain processes basic, non-political information. The Wisconsin card sorting test reveals two neurological markers of rigidity. Marker 1 is cognitive rigidity, the inability to adapt to new rules. Marker 2 is perceptual slowness, taking longer to process basic visual evidence. The extremist mind often shows an enlarged amygdala, driving emotional volatility and impulsive reactions. It also features a thinner prefrontal cortex, reducing complex rationality and tolerance for ambiguity. The ideological mindset matrix highlights the differences. The rigid mind is slow and binary in processing information, persists with failed strategies, shows hostility toward outgroups, and requires absolute answers. The flexible mind is fast, adaptive, tolerant, and comfortable with ambiguity. When belief fuses with personal identity, it creates identity fusion. The brain cannot distinguish an intellectual debate from physical danger. An attack on the idea is processed neurologically as an attack on the self, which is a gateway to violence and hostility. The path to dogmatism begins with cognitive inflexibility and slower perceptual processing. This is catalyzed by a threat or loss of significance, leading to a coping mechanism of needing absolute closure. The result is amplified by identity fusion, producing extremism and outgroup hostility. To change minds, we must flow around the boulder rather than hitting it. Direct confrontation triggers the amygdala's defense system. We need strategies that bypass the brain's threat architecture. The trap is attacking the idea directly. Instead, frame a new idea as a possibility to lower friction. Show the mirror by critiquing the reasoning process, not the core belief. Finally, involve them in finding the information so the conclusion feels like their own. To induce open-mindedness, use cognitive interventions like paradoxical thinking. Use affective interventions like cognitive reappraisal to manage emotional regulation. Finally, use social interventions like perspective getting and receptive language to bypass outgroup hostility. Preempting the threat response starts by validating the person's identity and core values, which neutralizes the threat and calms the amygdala. This shifts the brain from defending to learning, allowing accuracy motives to engage in flexible processing of new facts. The future is flexible. Ideology is a cognitive habit we can change. By deliberately training cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and tolerance for ambiguity, we can inoculate society against extremism. Flexibility is a muscle we must train.
This is a true collaboration between human and machine. Elevate your perspective.